Hey guys, Preston here, and in today's video, I want to address a bit of a buzzword I've been hearing around, everybody's been hearing around the internet quite a bit. It's called an online sales funnel, or sometimes they just call it sales funnels, or digital sales funnel, different terms for it. I want to demystify what they mean and how you can use them and how you can work them in your business to really scale and optimize the most out of your brand. All right, so if you stick around for this episode of Preston Martelli Marketing for Entrepreneurs, you're going to really enjoy what you're going to learn because it's going to kind of clarify a lot of things for you, a lot of buzz terms you've been hearing around, and how you can use that in your business and your brand today. Think of an online marketing funnel as a digital representation of the journey the average customer goes through before they make a purchasing decision. All right, now the mistake that a lot of people make in marketing is that they try to go straight for the kill, meaning they try to advertise to people kind of at the bottom of the marketing funnel here. Now, while this sometimes works, often at that point you're competing with brands who've already invested all of the time to help people get through all the additional steps of the buyer cycle. All right, so you're competing with brands that have already done that kind of added value to customers. So what I want to do today is to show you how, yes, you can start by advertising down here and get some of the low-hanging fruit, but I want to show you how to create a value, almost like a value chain, where you can take customers from the awareness stage and move them all through the different phases of the online marketing funnel. All right, now to do that, the first thing I want to do is explain what are some of the common buyer marketing funnels you'll see. I'll show it about 2 or 3 different versions to kind of clarify it for you, because different ones work better for different types of businesses, but generally they follow the same kind of structure, and generally that's kind of like a funnel shape like this. All right, so first things first, anybody who's looking to make a decision, they need to become aware, right? Aware of the solution and aware of you. They need to show interest. Right? That means they are interested in you versus the competitors, or your solution versus the alternatives. Then they start to consider you versus other brands. Then the last step is they start to do intent, where they start showing buyer intent, and we'll show you what some of these things mean, as well as evaluate, right? Did they make a right decision? Is this a decision they're going to be happy with? And then last but not least is that's where you make the money after you've done all these steps properly, where they actually decide to make a purchase with you. All right, so let's jump on to another version. So this one is a little bit more in depth, right, as you can see, but it explains it a little bit more in detail. And I think it's good for me to explain what these different steps mean in this version as well. So step 1, in the awareness stage, if you're just thinking about, a general product on the market, this is where your customer usually becomes aware of the problem or the pain point. Right? So they realize when they start to feel uncomfortable. If you're a real estate agent, they start doing things like, this house is too small, or there are no schools in the area for our kids, and so forth. That's when they become there's a problem spurring for them. And what you want to do as a business owner at this point is you want to focus on that problem and the pain point and get their attention by really empathizing with them, right? Understanding that show them that you understand that there's a problem, and you probably can then help them out with the problem in the future, right? This is where, if you're looking at your whole overall marketing strategy, this is where your social media part comes into play, right? When you're doing this side of things, okay? And overall brand awareness. The next step is interest, right? So this is when they know there's a problem and they're interested in finding a solution for that problem. So that's when they start looking for solutions online. So this is where your blog would come in, right? Where you can provide answers to these problems. You start looking for different product types, so you can maybe show how the features and benefits of your products, as well as they start looking at different brands out there. So this is where you want to start becoming available to them, and at that point you might want to get a little bit deeper in terms of what you're offering them to start building a relationship with them. And if you want to think of these terms as kind of like lead magnets, is one of the great ways to say it, is that this is how you can get them to exchange their contact information, like a name, email, phone number, in exchange for you giving them something of value, right? And at this point you want to do something like an ebook, right? Or maybe do a live webinar where you can tell them a little bit more about your products, what you offer. Another common one that you see is they'll do like a report or an analysis give them a status quo of where they are right now, okay? Then once they've done the interest part, they move into the consideration, where they start evaluating specific products or services, right? And they're starting to engage. This is where they want to start engaging with your business, right? So all of these ones, you're kind of just doing it as an industry type very, very high level. They don't really care about you as an individual service providers yet. When we get down to the consideration level, then they start looking into, okay, who should I be start looking at to provide this solution with me? And this is where, doing things like giving them demos, providing trials to them, maybe giving them an option for a pricing discount. These are where things kind of come in if you can offer that in your brand. Then the next step is the purchase, right? This is where you make your initial purchase. And I really say just your initial purchase because a lot of people just aim for this step and miss out on all the extra money that you can make on the back end. That's where they commit to a specific vendor, meaning yourself, and a specific product that you have, right? But just keep in mind that once somebody has paid at that point, that is often only 10% of your relationship and the amount that you can make from them. You can start offering them additional complementary product or higher ticket products or other things in your value ladder to really foster and build that relationship with them over the long term, and also to help you build your brand. Okay, then after the initial purchase, this is something that I always get, and I was talking about with my team. It's very important to make sure that we not only deliver a good sale for the product, but especially in the first 30 days to 60 or even 90 days, you want to make sure that we maintain good communication and a really high level of service, especially in those points. Because what's normally happening in the customer's mind is this is when they start going through a process called like cognitive dissonance, right? Where they start second guessing their purchase. Did I make the right decision? Did I make the right call? And you want to be able to be there for them, to be able to reinforce that for them, right? By doing things like showing testimonials of your work, giving them proper follow-ups, right? Showing them how the investment was a right choice to make, and really start helping them with that post-purchase psychology, which everybody goes through, right? Think of the last time you made a purchase, especially a big purchase, and for an intangible product or service, and you just second guess, did I make the right call buying this? Should I wait it? Should I bought this other one? Especially when you're on the fence. And then last one is, and another real thing is when you first get that, this is the point that you want to probably collect a review from the customer as well, because reviews are like receipts, right? So you want to make sure you have one of these after every transaction you perform with a customer, because that is the word of mouth marketing today. So you want to make sure that customer can give you either a written or a video testimonial. And also this is where they'll start, when they feel good about their purchase, the way that they reinforce it is by sharing it with other people. Okay, and then last but not least is the repurchase, which is when they become interested in expanding the use of goods and services, and really they become interested in purchasing other products or services that you offer. Okay, so you want to make sure that even if your brand offers one product, you want to see what are some of the complementary things that you can offer customers that kind of spin off of that one, that wouldn't add a lot of extra stuff to your process or your business, but would be helpful for them as well. Okay, so going through it again, let's go through some of these points again. So the awareness, primary tools that you want to use for the awareness stage is getting traffic to your brand. And some of the best ways to get traffic is using content marketing like YouTube or blogs or podcasts, using social media, right? You can definitely do some paid advertising as well at this stage, but you really want to keep that on a high level branding style. And you can also do public relations, so like networking meetings, or get yourself on a TV station or a radio station to share a little bit about your brand and what you offer. The interest stage is some of the tools this is when you have people aware of you and they're coming into your pipeline. So this is where you have leads now. They've already shown interest in your brand. They know about you. What you want to do is maybe take them to specific landing pages that you can then use for remarketing purposes, or you can share ebooks or tools that you can create for them, for you to continue that relationship with them. And then the last step, which is the decision. Again, the tool that you want to have at your disposal is basically a good sales page for them. You want to be able to try and offer them some things to, like a free consultation, so they can try out your product if you permit. You can offer a trial depending on the product that you offer. Maybe give some promotions or some scarcity or some discounted promotions to help them take that step to bump over. And very, very important, trust signals. This is when customers are looking, even subconsciously looking for a reason for them to say you're not a good decision, right? So you don't want anything to be off, like have an unsecure website, or you don't have a trusted looking checkout system. So you want to make sure you have these things qualified at that point, so you don't lose the sale at this particular step. Okay, and then last but not least is, we talked about email marketing and demos. These are all really good concepts at that step. Considerations, a couple of the things you want to keep in mind for the consideration step I talked about is this is where you want to really kind of build that emotional part with that relationship with the customer. So you want to, really let them connect with you, your brand story, your about us. So make sure that these things are tight. That will definitely help you get through the consideration stage onto the decision. And then you want to start looking for buyer intent. Right? So you want to make sure you have necessary tracking on your website, or you want to start looking at how people are coming to you and how many of them are repeat customers, because if somebody keeps coming back to your website, that's a good signal for high buyer intent. If people keep, clicking on an add to cart, right? These are high intent. And then also there's certain keywords that you might see people finding your brand for, like, discounts for your brand name, or your service near me. These are all high intent type keywords or terms that you want to make sure that you stay on top of, so that you can offer that when a client shows these signals. And then the last but not least, the next step is also, we got the evaluation step. When they're evaluating you versus your other competitors, you want to make sure that you are checked off on every one of the criteria that they've been looking for on an ongoing basis. There you have it. So these are all of the 4 steps. Right? And the last one is basically what we talked about, the action step, where we talked about, making sure we have a good payment system in place, a good shopping cart. We're showing some reviews to show that other people have made that decision, and there's that sense of social proof and confidence in your brand. And there you have it. You have a full sales funnel once you've gone through these steps. So if you have any questions, definitely ask me. I will be putting out more content around sales funnels, like maybe I have another video that I have planned to go over 19 different type of lead magnets. So if you like that kind of content, don't forget to comment below. So I definitely put it on my list of priorities, as well as subscribe to the channel if you're brand new here, and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I upload my next video. All right. Thank you so much for sticking around. Hopefully this was helpful. And if there's anything you think I missed out, please don't hesitate to comment below. And as you know, I'm new to building on my own YouTube channel, so I'm definitely open to feedback or comments you guys might have on how I can make this thing better and how I can better serve you guys. All right, take care.